I saw this insane oblique workout today. You take this,
Interesting.
do rows.
Like you're canoeing or kayaking?
Yeah.
It's a kayak.
You know, like when you're in half a sit-up, like right there. Yeah, put some weight on there, you're dead.
What are you doing for your 5x5?
Oh, for my 5x5? I don't know, probably 225, 235, something like that.
Bingo.
For my 5x5, I'm gonna try to do 315. I did like a 5x4 315. Moved pretty well, so I think I'm gonna try full on 5x5 315. I'm gonna pull sumo today. I'm eventually gonna do my 5x5s conventional because I'm gonna like alternate it, sumo conventional, sumo conventional. And then at the end of this, I do RDLs for Romanian deadlifts. It's just how I like to deadlift.
Ease it off the ground.
What?
Huh? Keep going.
What did you say, bro?
Ease it off the ground.
Baby, don't look down.
One more.
I'm trying to get this 300-pound bench press by the time I'm 20. I'm 19 right now. My birthday is January 1st. So that gives us roughly 3 months, and so that's iffy. I'm hanging out around 275 right now is my current PR, my current 1 rep max. So yeah, theoretically, or really, I'm gonna have to put on about 10 pounds a month onto my bench, which is literally absurd, especially at this level where it's not like I'm a beginner anymore. You know, I'm just going to have to add some new methodology into how I'm doing this. So what I'm thinking is there's like this way of training, this way of strength training, where you overload the bar, so you put like 315 on, which I would never be able to press, but I do a negative with it, and when I can't do it, Drew grabs it. So I negative down slowly, and then obviously won't be able to get it up, Drew grabs it, and we do these negatives. Another thing that I'm thinking is anything you do on flat bench, like I said before, is going to be best done on incline. Everybody knows that. I'm thinking if I train at this slight incline, and now that we have these good bumper plates, I can train with 225, just rep out 225 on a slight incline, and that's just going to give me an advantage overall to get this 300-pound bench press, which would be nuts. Yeah, I've only been lifting for like a year, nearly a year and a half. So, yo, what is up, guys? It's been a couple of days since we last filmed. The last thing you probably saw was Drew and I deadlifting. Yeah, I believe the 5x5 that we did on deadlift. I'm pretty stoked about hitting 315. It's a good little starter point. Could probably do more weight. That's what we're gonna do. Progressive overload it every week. But yeah, that's a good little anchor point for me in my deadlift. If you didn't see that because you skipped straight to this, I thought this would be good to cover. I get lots of questions. First thing that pops up in the suggested when you search my name on YouTube is like Dylan McKnight bulk, Dylan McKnight dirty bulk, Dylan McKnight 1 year body transformation, whatever. So I'm kind of becoming known as the king of the dirty bulk, which I don't know, I don't care really, but I don't know. I wanted to sit down and talk about it for a little bit. My bulk and how I did it, how I gained 50 plus pounds in a year. So I started my bulk in September. I'll show you guys some pictures of even before I started lifting what I looked like. So yeah, as you guys can see, I had a decent physique even before I started weightlifting. I would do push-ups at my house, tons of pull-ups, chin-ups. I always had dumbbells, so I'd do some dumbbell work. But yeah, at a young age, I figured out that having a healthy body and taking care of your body was important. So I've made other videos in the past, like foods for dirty bulking, dieting for bulking. Right now I'm on a lean bulk. I am eating clean. I'm definitely leaning out. It's pretty exciting to see. But yeah, let's get into this. So like I said, I started probably August or September really tracking my macros because I had started weightlifting probably early July, but I wasn't eating, I wasn't dieting. So I was really not doing anything. I finally figured out food and the importance of nutrition, which is one thing I'd say. If you guys don't know that, like, holy crap, man, nutrition and dieting is key. It's number one. Training is a close second, but if you don't have the diet, the training doesn't do anything. A lot of people think dieting, oh, that just refers to weight loss, eating for weight loss. No, dieting is any specific meal plan that you're following, any specific way of eating that you're following. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it was the dirty bulk. I didn't have a big appetite growing up, and I still don't. So the lean bulk has been challenging, but like I was saying, the dirty bulk, it was a good start for me. It was a good path for me to take to bulk up. Because the big thing for me and the big thing for you skinny guys who really haven't started weightlifting yet or may just be starting is to override that metabolism. Get enough calories in to do that, as well as get your macros in, your protein. So when you're dirty bulking, eat whatever the heck you want, man, but make sure you're getting your protein. I started kind of September, dirty bulking, so around that time, November-ish, is when eggnog comes into stores. Eggnog is a seasonal thing for like Christmas, the holidays, of course, maybe even Thanksgiving. But as soon as eggnog comes into the stores, you gotta get it. It's a filler calorie, basically what I used as like some sneaky calories just to fill up the freaking caloric intake so I could override my metabolism and thus leading to gaining weight. It's a liquid. That's what I was gonna say, is use liquids to meet your caloric intake. If you're trying to hit 4,000, 4,500 calories, early on you'll see that eating that much calories in a day clean, is next to impossible for like us beginners when you're first starting out and trying to bulk up. Like, I'm on 3,000 calories a day of clean calories right now, and that is extremely difficult for me. I mean, that's kind of not really fair to say. It's not that hard for me, but it's nowhere near as easy as the dirty bulk was. So use shakes appropriately, get your calories in through liquids, but don't forget to eat like some real food, man. And it doesn't hurt to eat healthy every once in a while. Like, definitely don't skip your out on macros, getting your macros in. Eat some freaking vegetables, some fruits every once in a while. It's not going to kill you, man. It will kill you if you don't do that. When I started, and even till this day, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research on exercises, biomechanics, how things work, diet advice, tips, even for myself. I'm not a beginner anymore, but I still do that, and I think I'll do that till the day I die. Research, learning more, knowledge is power, and especially in this sport, it's essential, you know? So yeah, I did a lot of research in the beginning, a lot more than I do now. And what I'm gonna say is a lot of you guys are trying to get all this data, all this research that you can get in, that you can literally cram into your mind before you start weightlifting. And that's the key word right there in that sentence, is before you start weightlifting. Don't do that. Don't try to get all this research in before you start. Just do it as you're starting. Just start. Like literally just start. The data that you could acquire for any situation is literally infinite. So start and acquire knowledge and learn as you go. No virtue is developed within a vacuum, meaning you cannot develop a virtue in the absence of the practice. The last thing I want is for this video to be dragged out and long, so let's just get to number 2, which is training. Training is very important. A lot of you guys in my DMs, it's pretty unfortunate to see this, but a lot of you guys are coming in and asking me, hey Dylan, is it possible to not work out, not train, but eat a lot and still gain weight? Like, literally, what do you expect? Eating in a caloric surplus and expecting that weight to go somewhere good? Without training, without facilitating and helping decipher where that weight goes, I don't understand that. So you can't have one without the other, like I was saying. There's no way around it. You have to work hard. You have to work hard, man, and that should be a given. And if you're not willing to work hard and you're looking for ways to cheat it, then this is not for you. So training, specifically, lift heavy, and don't necessarily go for high volume. Is great. In the beginning, I was doing high volume. Yeah, I was doing high volume. I was doing like 15 reps, maybe 3 to 4 sets, which is a lot of volume. It's a lot of volume, but at the same time, I wasn't lifting heavy weight, so it's not high volume. Lift heavy, and at the same time, get the reps in. What I'm saying is hover around 8 reps is what I found to be just the most efficient for myself, and I'd assume for most people is 8 reps. 8 reps meaning it means you're going to challenge yourself. It's going to be with a weight that you'll challenge yourself, but also weight you can't just throw up a million times, you know? Yeah, like I was saying, lift heavy. My rule of thumb is about 4 sets typically and 8 repetitions. That's a good rule of thumb. If you haven't devised a training program or anything like that, try that. Just stick to that. And as far as rest days go in training, train 6 days a week. If you are a freaking animal, you can do 7 days a week, but honestly, your body needs that day off. That's when you're going to grow and your muscles are going to recover. Take a day off. I like to take Sunday off. It's a Sabbath day. I keep it holy. Take Sunday off. I get so many DMs I can't even answer them, and I cannot answer them, how many DMs I get. It's really frustrating for me to see all those DMs sitting there and not be able to get to them, but I get so many questions that are like literally so specific. So many specifications in those questions that it's like, whoa guys, like let's not forget what we're doing here. It's not rocket science. It can be. You can get really smart about all this stuff, but what I mean by this is don't take the simplicity out of it. Understand that to make physical changes in our bodies, you have to give your body a reason to change. It's really that simple. If I'm lifting weights in the gym and the next day I'm not really sore, you know, how is my body going to know that it needs to change, that it needs to adapt, that it needs to evolve? Because that's going to become the norm, you know? When you hurt the body, when you tear it down, tear those muscle fibers down, and you're sore, your body's going to go, holy crap, if this guy's going to be doing that every day, we're going to have to learn to change, to adapt to that. And we're going to have to make those muscles bigger and stronger so that we can take that. We're going to have to build a bigger frame. The muscle knows no exercise, only damage. There's definitely an importance to going to failure too. What going to failure does is it just attaches to what I literally just said. It's like supply and demand. You do all this training and you break down the muscles, and then it says, holy crap, we are selling out of this product. We gotta get more of it so we can meet the demand. You know what I'm saying? That's a perfect analogy of that, supply and demand. So I know I said 4 sets and 8 repetitions is a good rule of thumb, and I'm not contradicting myself by saying this. Don't be a Nazi about that. Don't be like, oh, I just did 8 reps if I do one more. You know, don't be like that. If you did 8 reps and you got a little bit more in the tank, freaking push it, man. Try to get 9 or 10. 8 to 12 reps. That's what I'd say. I mean, if you can do more than 12 reps, you're lifting way too light. Another thing with training is the core lifts. A lot of people don't focus too much on the core lifts when they first start out or understand the importance of them. And I don't know if I did. I definitely didn't. Like you guys have seen, I literally recently just started picking up deadlifting. I just started deadlifting. I've just started squatting. I squat now. So my legs are getting bigger. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I've always benched. That's why my bench is good. And things like dips and stuff. And pull-ups. Start doing those, guys, early on. You'll have that advantage that I really didn't take advantage of, is doing core lifts. Core lifts build the frame. They release the most testosterone than any other lifts. The last thing I think I'll touch on with training is don't work out on a deficit. When I say deficit, I mean caloric deficit. You can. It's not the end of the world if you do, but in my experience, I've always had better workouts when I'm not on a deficit. If I work out, say, on 1,000 calories, it's gonna be a shizzy workout, man. I'm gonna have a tough time getting through that workout. It's gonna be like I'm cutting, like literally working out on no energy, no carbs. I try to hit the milestone of 2,000 calories every day before I hit my workout. Last thing is cardio. A lot of people say cardio is the enemy. Who can argue that cardio isn't good for you? Cardio is amazing for you. It's just kind of counterintuitive if you're trying to bulk up, which is why I'd say sacrifice cardio. And when you hear that, you're kind of like, holy crap, sacrifice cardio. I know, I thought the same thing. But really, when you're weightlifting, and if you're weightlifting right, recently I've been doing about minute breaks in between sets, just keeping it a bit more fast pace. And if you're lifting right, like I said, kind of that minute rest intervals, you're actually tapping into cardio. Like, lifting weights can be cardiovascular exercise. I assume most of you, when you hear I gained 50 pounds in a year, you're like, that's not healthy, you know? Because that would be my first assumption, and honestly what I believe it was not the healthiest option. I've had to make a lot of sacrifices to gain that 50 pounds in a year, and I did this all naturally. And yes, I gained a lot of muscle, but I also gained a substantial amount of fat from doing this naturally. Somebody who was on anabolics, if they gained 50 pounds of muscle in a year, do not get me wrong, that is literally so impressive. That's like Arnold Schwarzenegger type freaking work ethic. Yeah, I mean, doing this naturally, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and some days you're gonna wake up, or even before you're going to bed, you're gonna look in the mirror and be like, what the heck? What happened to my face? What happened to my chin? What happened to my clear skin? Yeah, just there's a lot of sacrifice that tunes into it, and a major sacrifice is social life. I'm not antisocial. I don't have a lot of friends. That's something I'd actually say is, if you're serious about it and if you have that work ethic and you're really driven about something, you're just not going to be doing a lot of social gatherings. And I don't know, I mean, a good example is for a very brief time, I had a girlfriend, and I really liked the girl. I genuinely liked her a lot. Like, practically fell in love with the girl. But I came at a crossroads, you know. I was trying to do all this stuff and kickstart all this stuff and literally make life-altering, changing moves while I was trying to have a relationship with a female. So, date males. But seriously, when you get involved, for instance, with a female, it's obviously going to take energy away from the gym and other things you're doing in your life. And for me, I really like the girl. And it's not that I chose lifting weights and the gym over this girl. It was simply that I don't lift weights just because I want a good body to be aesthetic. I do want to be aesthetic, but I lift weights for a much bigger picture than all that, to be a good father to my kids, to be a good husband to my wife one day, to be a good man. I want to be somebody that my kids look up to, and I want to be strong. I want to be mentally strong, and I want to reflect that externally. So I really came at a crossroads there, and if you're serious about something, you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose girlfriends, you're gonna lose whoever it is, people close to you. You're just, your life is gonna change, man. You see this person who I'm made out to be. You see how I have all this social status, social media status on all these platforms, and it's great. I love it. I love you guys, and I love interacting with you guys and making videos for you guys. Definitely one of a priority in my life. But what you don't see is my real life. Behind the scenes, when I'm not in front of the camera and doing all this stuff, is I don't have a lot of friends. I genuinely do not have a lot of friends. And that's not to say because I can't get friends, because I'm a weirdo, or because I'm antisocial. It's because I don't want friends. I genuinely just don't want friends. I know that sounds kind of weird. Drew is my friend. He's a really good friend. But literally, other than that, that is pretty sad. I can't really name too many other friends that I have besides Drew. If you don't inspire me, if you don't have traits that I aspire to have or wish I had, if you don't make me want to be a better person, we're not going to be friends. We're just not going to be friends. I don't see the point of that. I've literally become a loner, but I'm a happy loner, you know? I'm genuinely a very happy person with a very minimal amount of friends. So that's one thing I'd say is really learn to get to know yourself. Isolation is a gift. It's a gift amongst all. It's where you learn the most about yourself and you can make the biggest changes in your life. Yeah, so freaking spend some time in the darkness. Spend some time alone. Work on your craft. That's my advice to you guys. 50 pounds in a year. That's crazy, you know? There's 52 weeks in a year, so roughly I gained a pound every week. And to do that while maintaining a physique that is decent and not to the extent of being fat, it's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. I've never seen anybody. I don't know anybody who has ever done that naturally. You know? I'm trying to be cocky or arrogant by saying that, but I had literally never heard of anybody who had naturally gained 50 pounds in a year while maintaining a semi-decent physique. I'm pretty fat right now, but I'm working on it. I'm leaning out. So do things that you think are impossible. Set goals, set the bar somewhere that you think is not achievable, and then go after it. And if you do happen to achieve it, if you do manage to achieve it, that is literally going to be the best feeling in the world. So that's what I'll say, set big goals. So whether this is your first time watching my channel or you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for spending some time on my channel. If you're not subscribed, you should. Please like the video. That helps me out, helps me get in the algorithm. As far as social media goes, my YouTube, obviously you're on it right now, and my Instagram, you can also find me on Instagram at DylanFlippingMcKnight. It's right across my chest here. Yeah, we haven't posted in like 5 days. We haven't posted in 5 days, and we've gained still a substantial amount of subscribers. The channel is doing kind of unreally, and it's almost surreal how good it is doing. It's really weird. It's really weird. And Drew and I are both really thankful for that. Seriously, we wanted to say thank you. Oh, something crazy that happened, man. I pulled 425. I pulled 425 on the deadlift, and the SD card corrupted. So yeah, I'm loving the deadlift. Loving creating content for you guys. I have a job right now that is a priority in my life, but like I said, you guys and the channel, y'all are one of my main priorities as well. So we're gonna keep this content coming, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later.